Hello. So I think today is the day. I think today is the day that baby comes. Hi, my name is Annie. I am a stay-at-home mom of three boys, and potentially our fourth baby is coming outside today. So I am very excited, as you could see. I've have been getting contractions, very manageable contractions. They're coming in like every 2 minutes, lasting 15 seconds. So I am pumped. I have not lost my mucus plug. Today is Tuesday the 25th, and I started having contractions last night. Um, the same, very manageable, short, and often. They went away. I was able to sleep the whole night. Woke up at 5:30, and that's when everything has started. Like I said, I haven't lost my mucus plug, but we're gonna see, because I feel like this baby is throwing me into a loop, because normally I lose mucus plug very early in the morning, and then everything just slowly increases after this point. But everything seems very calm, very manageable. I've just been doing like the last cleaning up here in the house, um, and doing like the boys' food. I'm gonna have some lunch right now, and we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm so excited. So I feel like baby might get here like around 8 tonight. We'll see. So I'm just so excited. I don't even know what else to say, but yeah. Okay, so we are already almost 2 months in, and still no birth story, because that's just life of a mom. So hi, my name is Annie. I'm a stay-at-home mom of four boys. This is the youngest. A little one is right here, and the other two are being what is it called, zombies to the TV. But I'm gonna put the clip in of the day that I gave birth, of when I started to record during the day. I had all the intentions to record like my whole process from start to end of giving, birth to baby, but it just didn't work out. It's just not in me to do that. It's just a lot, and whoever can record the whole process, like, you are awesome, because I couldn't do it. And then I'm also gonna put in another clip, or you guys probably already saw the other clip, of when baby was a week old, and I tried to do this video. It didn't work out. If I do put it, you'll see. If not, then this is just a waste of time. But this is gonna be my birth story. I think I already said that, but let's see. So my birth plan, since I knew that baby was born, I knew I was gonna have another home birth. So I've had hi. So I've had one hospital birth, emergency C-section. You're a ghost? Oh yeah. And then I had another hospital natural birth, so no epidural. And then I have two home births. Huh? No, you guys gotta stop, chill. So yeah, I've kind of like been through it all, in a sense, for me. So, like I said, since the start that I knew I was pregnant with this little guy, home birth 100%. It just works out for our family. It would be very hard for us to have a hospital birth and take all the boys over there. This is just where we feel obviously more comfortable, here at home, and it's just amazing. I found an amazing midwife again. It wasn't the same one as my third pregnancy, but they like all know each other, so I think it worked out. Let's just say that. And if I have another baby, definitely using her again. So my birth plan going into this, like I said for the third time, was a home birth. I wanted a home birth, all natural, like nothing, like, don't touch me, let me be. And once baby is ready to be delivered, I wanted the midwife to be there assisting my husband to essentially deliver the baby, like for him to catch him, and the midwife just be there to assist, to make sure that everything's good to go. And give birth standing up. I can't give birth laying down. I've noticed that if I lay down, I can't feel my contractions. It happened in my second pregnancy, the hospital birth, and this last one. So if God willingly sends us another baby, yeah, fifth one has to be standing up. So that was my plan. Midwife was all for it. So um, my baby was born on a Tuesday, and he is now almost 2 months old. This little one's name is Legion. I adore his name. All my kids, I adore all their names, but there was something about this baby that I knew, like, yep, that's Legion, from like 2 or 3 months being pregnant. So Monday, I started with contractions at night, but I ignored them and didn't think much of it because I've had contractions in the past like week or so, and they would just go. So I got a full night's rest. Tuesday morning, 5 o'clock, I wake up and I feel contractions. And I'm just thinking, like, this is not it. I wake up and I start doing things around the house. Because in the back of I think subconsciously, my body and my brain knew, like, no, it's today. Like, let's just get up and do things. So I got out, from the bedroom and I started to clean, do my stuff. And my husband wakes up early because he goes to work early. So he ends up waking up like an hour later. And I tell him, like, hey, I've been having contractions since 5. They're very manageable, but they haven't gone away. So he's like, oh, okay, well, like, what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to call or, like, don't go to work or what? I was like, no, just go to work. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know what's up. So, yeah, I never kept him updated. Spoiler alert. But he leaves to work and I keep cleaning, tidying around the house. Because, again, subconsciously, I think, like, my brain's like, no, you have to, it's today. Let's get you cleaning. So time passes by, the boys wake up, and this is 4 days before hitting 40 weeks. Normally, I have my babies like at 38 weeks, the start of 39. I never reach this close to 40 weeks. So my mother-in-law, my midwife, and my husband's niece were asking, my brothers, my grandma, everyone was asking me, like, hey, so is the baby here? Hey, is the baby here? Like, I like it, but now I get why people, like, sometimes are like, okay, like, no, they're not here. And I'm never doing that to another pregnant lady. I get it now. So if you know someone that's pregnant and they're about to have a baby and the baby is not here yet, don't pester them. Like, I know it comes from a good heart, but I think, like, when you're pregnant and you're so close to giving birth, you, as a mom, you start feeling like, okay, so are you gonna come here? Like, you start getting this excitement of wanting to meet your baby, and you're just, like, pumped to go through labor. I know it sounds like, who's gonna feel that? But you're pumped to go through labor because you know you're gonna meet this little baby that you've been growing, that you've gotten so close to and love without even knowing. So we as moms get very excited and are also very pumped to get into labor. So when people, like, ask us and the baby's not here yet, you kind of, like, make us a little, like, sad, like, tiny bit. Yeah, that was a little rant. But yeah, so everyone was asking, baby was not here, because they all know that I give birth to my babies really early. I've given birth at 36 weeks, so they're like, hello. And don't get me wrong, me too. But went throughout my day. Like, that is the best advice I could give to anyone. If any pregnant woman is watching this, just keep yourself busy. Like, if you are going through contractions and you think you need to go to the hospital, this is not medical advice, by the way. This is my personal experiences. Just wait it out. Like, wait it out. Keep yourself busy. I've done the mistake of going to the hospital super early. And let me say, like, I've had 2 hospital births. One was emergency C-section. The other one was a natural, and then 2 home births. So I've been through the ringer. So yeah, keep yourself busy. That's what I did. Like, I kept myself busy. The boys woke up, and I just did what I normally do throughout the day, like make them breakfast, get them ready. I did make sure also, my subconscious brain was like, yeah, let's cut you up some pineapple and watermelon and cantaloupe, and let's make sure to put that honey jar out and have your electrolytes out. Let's have you ready just in case. So I did prep all that. My mother-in-law ends up getting here like around 10 in the morning, and she's like, we're conversating, and then she's like, well, yeah, you're not feeling anything, right? And I looked at her, and for a second, I wasn't going to tell her anything. But I was like, you know what, like if anything goes down, I'm gonna need her to keep an eye on the boys if my husband doesn't get here on time. And she's my mother-in-law. I tell her everything. So I was like, yeah, I've been feeling them since 5 o'clock. Like it might be today. So she was pumped. I was pumped slash delusional that it wasn't gonna be the day. So we just went through our day. Like this was like around 12, close to 1. I give the boys lunch. And normally here at the home it's just me and the boys. And sometimes my mother-in-law, when she's not working, she'll be here at the house. So I was like, okay, like this is going smoothly. My contractions are coming in every 2 minutes, lasting 10-15 seconds. They're very manageable. This is awesome. So like I said, it's normally just here, me and the boys here, and no one else here besides maybe like sometimes my husband's nieces like trickle in to visit. And from all days, both of his nieces decide to like step in and visit. And I was just like, oh my God, like I didn't want anyone else to know, because I didn't want, again, like all the, hey, so is a baby here, hey, is a baby here, like that pressure. And I just wanted it to be us. So his nieces came here. I was having contractions. They were still very manageable, where I could pretend like I wasn't in labor. But I think one noticed it because I left to the bathroom and I was there with my son while he was going to the bathroom. And yeah, I think she noticed that. But I didn't say anything. I just kept through my day. I took the youngest one of the boys to go take a nap, and I went to go take a nap. By this time, obviously, my midwife already knew what was happening. And I go and I take a nap. I lay down, and I have no contractions. It was the craziest thing, because typically I'll lay down to take a nap while I am in labor, and my contractions like speed up. Like they get a lot stronger. So when this happened, that they went away, I was like, whoa, what's going on? It's not today. I still had not lost my mucus plug, so I was like, okay, it's definitely not today. So my midwife texted me, she's like, hey, my assistant has an appointment at 3 with another lady. She's pregnant too. Does she keep it or should she cancel? And I told her, like, you know what? I laid down to take a nap. My contractions are completely gone. I don't feel anything. Just tell her to keep the appointment. And once I wake up, I'll keep you updated and let you know what's up. So I fell asleep for like 20-30 minutes. I wake up and I start like I just like lay there and got up, and instantly contractions hit. They hit, and they were a little bit more stronger than what they were. I had to turn off something from the stove. So yeah, they were a lot stronger than what they were. And excuse me, look at how adorable this cup is. Okay, let's get back. And what did I do? I just got up and I just did the regular thing. This is maybe around 4-ish, 5, I want to say. When you're in labor, at least for myself, I feel like there's no time. Like I'm still, what is it called? Like I'm still tracking my contractions on the contraction timer. Like I'm seeing it and I'm checking the time, but it's just like a whole blur. Like if it's gone. So it's around 4-ish. And my brain tells me, well, I start to think like, okay, so if it is today, like I need to make sure that the boys are showered, because who knows when they're going to shower again. I need to make sure that they have their food. I need to go take out the freezer meals that I had prepped before. I need to just have everything done. And mind you not, my husband helps me with all that stuff, but I just want to make his life easier, because he comes from work tired, and if it is that day that I was going to give birth, which was, I don't want him to be like bombarded with all these things, right? And so I was like, okay, so we're going to go shower the boys. I put all the boys to take a shower, like a quick shower, and having contractions, and they are getting a little bit stronger. But they're very manageable because I'm doing things. I'm like trying to beat the baby being born. So I'm doing things, I'm distracting myself. It's working out good. So I also have like a little mini ritual that I always do. Like when I'm about to give birth, I go ahead and like jump in the shower like a couple, maybe hours or so before I give birth. And I just want to be like clean. It's almost like refreshing my body. and putting on my laboring clothes. Like, I don't know if that's a thing. I think it is, but yeah, I have a certain shirt, a certain underwear. I put my hair back. I make sure that, you know, I'm presentable for myself and my baby. And it's go time. So like I said, this is probably like 5, and I, like I said earlier, I never updated my husband. I completely forgot. So he gets here like around close to 6 because he had a very busy day that day. And he gets here, and I like open the door and I tell him like, hey, you need to go shower. You need to make sure you eat because we're gonna have a baby. And he's like, wait, what's happening? Because again, I never updated him. So this is just like, wait, I didn't think we were having a baby today because you never messaged me. I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot. But this is like the nice version. I said it a little bit more like meaner because I was in the contraction mode. So he comes in here and does what he needs to do, and I messaged my midwife saying like, hey, you know what, I think my contractions are this far apart, they're lasting this long. I sent her a screenshot of the contraction timer, and she asked me like, are they strong, like are they manageable? And now in my brain I'm thinking like, they have to be stronger. They're gonna get stronger, because if you ever experience Pitocin contractions, they are nothing compared to regular natural contractions. Now, don't get me wrong, contractions are not easy, but Pitocin contractions are so much stronger and they come so much closer that it's very hard. So, in my mind, I'm always thinking like, no, they have to get stronger because I'm comparing them to the Pitocin contractions I've gone through before. So I tell her, you know what, let me see, I'll text you in 10 minutes. But then 10 minutes did not pass, and I text her like, yeah, they're getting stronger. I think you need to come. So this is probably like 6, close to 7. So this is where things start speeding up and getting a little bit exciting, scary. So my husband's here. He's taking care of the boys. I'm here doing my thing. That's just how we do things. I'm very, leave me alone while I'm laboring because I will be very upset. I just stay to myself. My midwife already knows that too. I told her like, I don't need to be told, I don't need to be rubbed, I don't need massage, nothing. Just let me be and let me work through my contractions. And yeah, so she ends up getting here. She starts like just observing me with her assistant. So they're just keeping an eye on me, right? And I start to feel the urge to push. But again, I thought like, no, this is too soon. Like I can't. So I ignore it. And then I finally tell her, like, after 2 contractions and I'm still feeling the urge, like, hey, I'm feeling the urge to push. And she's like, okay, well, like, go ahead and try to push. And while she tells me that, she's putting, like, those dog pee pads underneath me because when I push, my water's gonna break. My water had not broken. And yeah, I pushed 2 times and my water breaks. And I'm standing up. Like, I'm leaning against this dresser on the other side. And I'm looking down while I'm pushing, and I just hear, I hear the water break, and I look down, and basically I see that my water, when my water breaks, it's like greenish yellow, so there's meconium in it, like the baby pooped already. So that's not a worry to me, but the midwife's assistant Annie comes over and she starts checking the heart rate of the baby. And I'm like looking at the monitor, seeing the heart rate, and I see the heart rate starts at 90 and then goes to 60, and then it drops again, and I'm just like, whoa, this there's something wrong here, because typically babies are, I think, between 130 and 140. I could be wrong, but I know that's the typical. So instantly I know. So when I see that the monitor is reading 60, 61, I'm like, oh no, there's something wrong. So they check me again, and I see that my midwife is looking at the monitor, the heart rate monitor, and she comes over to my side and she puts her hand on my wrist. She's checking to see if the heart rate that they're picking up is mine or it's baby's. So when she comes over and she checks my wrist and she sees that, yeah, that's the baby's heart rate that is dropping to 60, she grabs my hand and she like slowly turns me around and she tells me like, hey, I'm getting so emotional because like I talk about this, but the emotions are just coming back right now. she tells me like, hey, we need to have a baby like now because you need to have a baby now. So she lays me down, and like I said, this is not something I was hoping for. I was really hoping that I would lay down. I mean, I was hoping for giving birth standing up, husband catching, me seeing with the mirror, baby coming out. No, she turns me around. She's like, you need to lay down. We need to have baby now. Like, you need to push him out in the next 2 to 3 pushes. So I remember telling her like, hey, what's going on? But I knew what was going on, but this is another out of body experience. Like, I felt I was there, but I wasn't there. And they just like lay me down. They push my legs back, and I'm like looking at my husband, and God bless him that he has no clue that this is like an emergency thing. So he's just like, dilly-dallying, not dilly-dallying, but he's like right there next to me, like holding my legs so I could push. And he has no clue. I'm glad it worked out like this, because I think he would have started freaking out to see if baby was okay, and that would have made me a little bit like anxious. So I was like, okay. So I start to push, and I don't feel anything. Like, my contractions are not completely gone, but they're not as strong. So this is what I mean. I don't like giving birth while I'm laying down, because I can't feel my contractions. So she has to kind of help me out. And the hilarious thing, I think this is going to be too much information, but if we look back at this has to be in here so we could remember. My midwife tells my husband like, hey, you need to like rub her nips to give her stimulation to release that oxytocin so her contractions start coming a lot closer, because the baby needs to come out now. So I'm just like looking at my husband, and I just see my husband like, he looks at her and he has this facial expression of like, what did you just tell me? But okay. So he just like turns and does what she says. It's so hilarious. And I feel a contraction, not as strong, but I feel a very light contraction. And I start pushing, and she starts like stretching out the wall or pulling down like my vagina to make more, like to open up my vagina so the baby could come out fast. So yeah, I just start pushing. This was back to back to back to back. So there was no break in between. Like there was one break, very short, and we had to just go. I felt the baby come out, and my husband's like telling me like, oh my gosh, the baby's head is right there. I see his hair, like he's right there. So that gets me like more pumped, and like, gives me like a boost of energy, because it was so much so fast that you just get tired, but you're just doing things and you're not noticing that you're getting exhausted. So when he tells me like, oh, the baby's head is right there, I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Let's do this. So I push, and I could feel his head coming out, and the midwife like stretching my vagina. And next thing I feel was like, bloop, his little body like slip out of me. And he started crying right away. They checked him. They put him up. Well, they didn't check him. They just, she grabbed him and put him on my chest, and he was fine. He was quiet. Like, this is how he was when he was born. Like, he just sleeping on my chest, like looking around, waking up. And my concern was that he wasn't really crying a lot. So I was just like, hey, like, what's going on? And mind you not, like, my boys are right over there in the living room, like hearing all this going on. My mother-in-law is like, she comes over and she like tries to see the gender of the baby, because we had not known the gender of the baby, but she couldn't see it because he was covered with a blanket, so she could not see. And she like comes over and tries to see, and then asks the midwife like, hey, so what is it? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like, very respectfully telling her like, I think that's their job to tell you guys. So everything was awesome. He was so healthy. I tend to bleed a lot after birth, so that was a concern of the midwife going into this pregnancy. So yeah, she had to she gave me 2 shots of Pitocin in my thigh. That didn't work out. Then she gave me some pills as well, like after, like when I was laying down. And then I gave birth to the placenta. So let me tell you, This is the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. Not giving birth to the placenta, I felt that. But since I was bleeding a lot, she had to go in and physically check I didn't have more blood clots. Because obviously that could lead to infection and make things worse. So let me tell you that ¿Qué pasó, bebecito? No llore, mi corazoncito, no. Good morning. You have to wait, sir. So she told me like, hey, I'm really sorry. I have to massage your stomach, make sure there's no blood clots, and I want to check and make sure you really don't have anything in there, which they normally do. But let me tell you, this was painful because I did have like clots, like blood in there that she needed to take out. So she kept like checking and checking. It was the most painful thing ever. Worse than contractions. I think I was about to cry. Like, that's how bad it was, okay? And I've gone through several births. So that is very painful. I'll take labor contractions anytime over that pain I felt while she was checking my uterus and everything, okay? So once they get that situated, they see that I'm still bleeding. She gives me a medicine in the IV. So in total, she gave me 4 medicines for my bleeding because she said that I would get the medicine, I would be bleeding, stop bleeding, and then start again. So it seemed like the other 3 medications were not working for this, like clogging, making the blood thick. And the last one finally worked. And let me tell you, like after all this happened, I was so exhausted. Like I was just tired. I felt like I ran a marathon. I never ran a marathon, but I felt like I ran a marathon and I was done. Baby was 100% okay. I was 100% okay after all that. And it was just a beautiful thing. That was it. I don't know how to finish off. That was it. That was all. And would I do it again? 100% I would do it again. My husband did film me giving birth, but I just want to keep that for us because it's a lot. Like, and I don't think he farted, okay? It was not me. I don't think I'm ready to share that to the whole world or whoever sees this, if anyone does. But it was just all magical. So yeah, that was the birth of, let me show you what's up. Let me put my shirt down before I nip slip you guys. But that was this. He finally woke up. So it's this little guy's birth story. Again, he's a little, let me see. Oh, he just woke up, so he's doing his little crunchy. But yeah, baby boy. 4 boys, you guys. Everyone thought I was gonna have a girl. They were all thinking I was gonna have a girl. But like I said, since like 2 months pregnant, I had a feeling I was gonna have a boy. I think I'm gonna have 5 boys and maybe 1 girl, if it works out like that. But I really think I'm just gonna be a boy mom, and I'm okay with that. My heart might want a little girl, but honestly, I'm really okay with that. And before we keep rambling, that's it. That was a birth story. And look at this little guy. Es a bebecito. ¿Quién es ese bebecito? ¿Eh? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó, bebé bonito? ¿Eh? ¿Qué pasó? So he's like doing his little baby talks now. I'm trying to get it on camera, but I guess it's not gonna work today. But baby boy's gonna be 2 months already. ¿Verdad, mi bebé? ¿Verdad? Sí. Thanks for watching. Baby, give a show, baby. Give a show. Give a show. I'm going, love. Give a show. Well, I have to go because I am being pestered for my phone. And yeah, I have 3 other kids and I have to make the food and we gotta go. Time's up. But yeah, I'll make another video about, oh my goodness, you got a lot of farts. You got a lot of, mucho peditos.
Diarrhea squad.
Yeah, okay. Thank you guys. Bye.